Hello everyone. In the previous class, we discussed one topic is like different ways of expressing our algorithms, right? In the previous class, we discussed the different ways of starting the algorithms, right? So in that class, we discussed the step-by-step format and pseudocode format and flowchart format and Nasi Schneiderman format, right? So in that class we discussed the flowchart already, but in this class we will discuss more about the flowchart representation. Okay, so here what is flowchart? Here flowchart is the one type of diagrammatic representation. Here flowchart is the one type of diagrammatic representation. Okay, it is the one type of diagrammatic representation. Okay, so here by this flowchart here we can represent everything. Okay, so here by using this here you can build the different types of boxes and different types of symbols, right? So in the previous class only we discussed this one. So it is taking the whatever you're writing the logic that can be represented in the box format. Okay, so once check the previous class here, we already discussed this one. Okay, so your flowchart is the one type of diagrammatic representation. So this is built okay, different types of boxes and the symbols, whatever you have the performer, whatever you have the operations that can be performed on the written format, so that is in the boxes. Okay, so here we have the arrows. Every arrow is interconnected by the indicating of the flow of information and the processing, flow of information and the processing performance. Okay, so this is the one example format for this is one example format for our flowchart. Okay, right? Okay, so here we are starting and we are stopping. Okay, these are the vowel symbols, and we have the circle, so we can call that one is the connector. Okay, so here this vowel symbol we can also call terminals. Okay, so these are all the rectangles. So why we are using the rectangle means here you have to be processed, right? And here we have the diamond symbol. So why we are using the diamond symbol for means here we are using for the decisions. Okay, so when you are writing the logic in this only we are representing the our logic, and this is the input and output performances. We can call this one, this diagram is like a parallelogram, and here we are stopping. So extra we have the two symbols is like a bracket with broken line and double sided rectangle. Okay, so like these symbols we have in the our flow chart. Okay, we have these symbols. Okay, so let's see here in this class we will discuss here what we have the advantages, guidelines and limitations for the flowchart. Okay, we'll discuss the guidelines, advantages and limitations for the flowchart. Let's see. Okay, first here guidelines of flowchart. Okay, guidelines of flowchart. What we have the guidelines of flowchart here. First here we have these some steps to guideline the our flowchart. Total we have the 11 steps. Okay, total we have the 11 steps to perform our flowchart. First one, okay, first step, it should be easy to understand. First of all, here first step is the it should be easy to understand. Okay, here I am writing. First guideline is the whatever you are taking the problem or anything, okay, that is easy to understand. Without the understand, how we will be solving that problem? No, right? So first whatever you are taking, that is easy to understand. Okay, it should be easy to understand. Easy to understand. It should be easy to understand. And next here we have the second one. It should contain both logic start and stop. Okay, so here when you're starting the flow chart, here just you have to be use the start, and at last you have to be use the stop, right? Here you should contain both the logical parts here, start and stop. Okay, contains both logical, okay, logical start and stop. Here it is having the logical start and stop. Whenever you are preparing the flowchart, definitely that is having the start and stop symbols, means your terminals. Okay, and in the third step, it should contains the steps that are required for execution in sequence. See, whatever you are giving, that is required steps. In the previous chart, we have sum is equals to 0, num is equals to 0, num is equals num plus 1, sum is equals to sum plus num, right? So those are all the steps for our logic. Right, here whatever you require the steps, okay, so that is only have to be prepared for the execution. So definitely that is in the sequential order. Without the sequence we cannot get the our answer, okay, our output. Okay, right, here it should contain the steps that are required for execution in sequence. Okay, so it is having these steps, right? So those steps that are required for, whatever you have the steps that are required for execution in sequence. Execution in sequence. Whatever you have steps that is required for the execution in sequence. Whatever you have, that is only required for this. Okay. And next here we have the fourth step. It should follow the procedure. Okay, it is definitely following the some procedure, either left to right or else it is following the top to bottom direction. Left to right or else it is processing top to bottom process. Right, it is performing the left to right or else it is performing the top to bottom. Okay, it is performing the left to right or else it is performing the top to bottom directions. Here it is taking the directions. How it will be taking the directions? By using the arrow. Okay, it is performing the some procedure. That procedure is taking the left to right or else it is taking the top to bottom directions. Okay, that is taking the top to bottom directions. Okay, here I will show you how it will be how it will be show slide. Okay, one second. See this here. So here we have the one rectangle. Okay, so here left to right. Okay, so this is the left going to the right situation, or else it is going to the top to bottom, right? Okay, it is moving to the top to bottom. It is moving to the top to bottom. Okay, so here left to right with the top to bottom it is moving. Right, here this one is the left to right. Left to right. Or else it is moving with the top to bottom. Or else it is moving the top to bottom. Okay, so here whatever you are taking the guidelines or whatever you are taking the problems, everything will be performing in the flowchart either left to right or else it may be taking top to bottom. Okay, left to right or else it is taking the top to bottom. Okay, so this is the fourth step. Okay, next here we have the fifth step. Okay, it should give only a single continuous flow line into whole process. Okay, it is only giving single continuous line. Means here it is giving the only one single arrow. It is not giving the again back flow. Okay, it is not taking the again back flow. Suppose here it is taking the again back flow, means here that is in the different way. Okay, that is taking the different way. It is not going again back. Okay, means here if it is not going like this, Okay, so it is having the different way for that. Okay, I will show you. Okay, so whatever you are taking, it should give only a single continuous flow line in the whole process. Okay, gives only a single continuous flow line. Okay, so whatever you are creating the problem for the flow chart, so that is always you are taking the continuous flow. Okay, continuous flow line. Okay, here flow line means here it is coming to the one single line to the like arrows. Okay, it is coming to the one single line, flow line in the whole process. Okay, so once here you started the flow chart, here once you when you are ending that flow chart, up to it is taking the only single process. Okay, flow line in the whole process, in the whole process. Okay, from the starting still ending, it is taking the only one continuous flow line. It is not stopping. Okay, okay, so it is taking the flow line is like arrow. It is taking the flow line is like arrow. Okay, and next here we have the sixth step. It should make use of decision making. Okay, it is taking the one decision. Yes, you done the rectangulars. Okay, so here without the logic, how it will be performs? No, right? Here without the logic, nothing is there. Nothing it will be performing. Okay, why? Because here we will also we not performing. Why? Because you're without the profit, why we will work, right? No, it's same like that only. Here when you are making the problems without the logic, here problem will not get the solution. Without the logic, here problem will not get any solution. Same like that only when you are making when you are creating the flowchart for that, here you have to be make the decisions for that. Okay, so here in this we took the decision making symbols. So by that here we are taking the one incoming flowing, and we are taking the one incoming flow line, but it is producing the two or more outgoing flow lines. Okay, here we have the one decision making symbol. Okay, so your decision making symbol is having the incoming flow line, only one incoming flow line, but by that here it is giving the one or more, means here two or more incoming outgoing flow lines. Here we have the one decision, okay, making symbols. Okay, we have the decision making symbols. This symbol is have only one incoming flow line, is having the only one incoming flow line, but it is giving two or more outgoing flow lines. See, here it is having the only one incoming flow line, but it is giving it two or more outgoing lines. How it will be performs? How it will be performs? That is your question mark, right? Here I am taking the one decision symbol is like diamond. Here I am giving the one incoming flow line. It is giving the more outgoing flow lines, right? It may be left or it may be down, or else you can make this one. Okay, again I am taking the one diamond symbol. Okay, here I am giving the one incoming flow line. It may be left side, or else it may be right side, or else it may be down side. So any other side it is moving, means here it is just taking the only one incoming flow line, but it is producing the more than two or more. At least it is producing the two or more. Here we have the two and here we have the three. So at least here it is producing the two or more outgoing flow lines by the our decision making symbols. Okay, so next here we have the seventh step. Okay, next here we have the seventh step. So it should make use of terminal symbols. It should make use of terminal symbols. Yes, we have the terminal symbol, right? So means your vowel symbols. Okay, so it is making the terminal symbols like begin and end, or else here we can call start or stop. Okay, that is having the only one flow line only. That is having the only one flow line. See here we have the terminal symbols, right? We have the terminal symbols. This symbols is having the begin and end, or else we can take that one is the start or stop. Okay, so this is just having the only one flow line. Okay, only one flow line. It is just having the only one flow line. It is not having more than one flow line. It is just having the only one flow line. Let's see. Here we have the terminal symbol, right? Okay. Here this is our terminal symbol. In this you should represent the begin, okay, and end, or else you can write here start or stop. Whatever you require, that is you can write. So here after the starting, after the begin, it is going to like this, and after the ending means here it is coming to the top position. Okay, after the end here we are not giving any arrow, any processing. After the starting only we are giving the our processing start. Okay, so here like this, here we are giving the terminal symbols. Here it is begins and it is ending the only one flow line. Okay, so here we completed total 7 steps. Next go with the 8th step. Okay, next we are going to the 8th step. 8th one. Okay, so it should make use of rectangulars. Here we have the rectangulars right here. Okay, so by the rectangular, here we are processing. Whatever you are taking the input, here we are processing in that, right? Logic like that. Okay, so here you should use the rectangle symbol in order to perform the processing of data. Okay, in this rectangular symbol, we are performing the perform the processing of data. We are what we are performing here? We are performing the processing of the data. We are performing the processing of data. Okay, in the rectangular symbol, we are performing the processing of data. We are performing the okay. So suppose you can take the x is equals to c is equals a plus 1. Sorry, a plus b. Suppose you can take the, for example, here I am taking, for example only here I am taking. So what here I am taking, c is equals to a plus b. Okay, suppose here I am taking the c is equals to a plus b. How we will represent here? We need the a plus b value for the c, right? Here we need to be represent this one, right? C to a plus b. Here you need to be represent this one, c to a plus b. Okay, so means here equal to is comes to the arrow mark. Okay, a plus b will be comes to our c value. Okay, right? It is having the arrows. Means here it is coming from before what we have the box, and after what we have the box. Means here it is having the some connections before and after, right? Okay, so this is here we have the rectangular symbol. Here in this we have the rectangular symbol, and next here we have the ninth step. Okay, it is making the use of connector symbol. Okay, so not only this, here it is having the connector symbol in case of complex flow chart in order to decrease the number of flow lines. Okay, so it is having the some connector symbols. It is having the some connector symbols. Here what we have the connector symbols. Here we have the connector symbols is like a circle. We have the connector symbols is like a circle. So it is connecting like this. It is connecting like this. Okay. So by this here connecting symbols, here we are in complex flow chart in order to decrease the number of flow lines. Okay, so suppose you have the flow lines is more than one. Here in this sign you have to be decreased by the connector symbols. You can decrease by the connector symbols. And next here we have the 10th one. Okay, next here we have the 10th one. It should restrict the intersected flow lines in order to make the flow chart effective. Okay, so suppose you perform the connector symbols. Okay, it is restricting. It should restrict the intersected flow lines. Means here it is not in the union position. Intersected means here whatever you required only you are using. If that one is not required, okay, you can make our flow chart will be more effective. Okay, you can restrict the intersected you can restrict the intersected flow lines. In this you're restricting the intersected flow lines. What should you need? That is only had to be used. Otherwise if our flow chart will not be effective. So when you're restricting the our intersected flow lines, here our flow chart will be in the more effectiveness. Okay, and at last we have the step. Okay, it should perform validity test by passing test data to the flowchart in order to verify the flowchart correctness. Here, at last here, whatever you perform, that is performing the testing. Okay, it is a test by passing test data. It is performing test by passing test data. It is performing the test by passing test data. So, it is if that one. Why it is performing the testing means here what if you done the flowchart or anything, so if that one is not correct, how it will be described for others? No, right? So before you have to be done this testing position. If that one is good, yes, it is correct flowchart. If not, here it is again correcting the flowchart diagram. Okay, so these are the guidelines to perform the our flowchart. These are the guidelines to perform the our flowchart. By this here you can represent total we have the 11 steps. So normally in these 11 steps also we are using the terminals. Okay, so and we are using the terminals, decision makings, rectangles. Okay, right, and we are using the some connector symbols. Everything whatever you have, that is only you are using. Okay, so after the guidelines of flowchart, we have another topic is like advantages of flowchart. We have advantages of flowchart. Okay, we have the another one is the advantages of the flowchart. Okay, what we have the advantages in this here? Mostly here we are using the our flowchart to perform the our programs. Okay, to perform the our programs in the developing the means here we are, suppose you can take we are the programmers, right? Why? Because here who are writing the programs, those we can call like programmers. Programmers are developing the program logic. Yes, here suppose here I am thinking here I am is the one programmer. Okay, so here I am writing the, or else here I am developing the one program logic, and here I am using that to document for documentation to complete the one program. Okay, first main advantages is the by using the flowchart, whatever you are writing, whatever you are designing, by that we can clearly identify how to write the program code, programmatic logic. Okay, so by the step by step format in the algorithms, or else by the pseudocode, we cannot understand the easy way to write the programmatic code. By the flowchart we can understand easily. So how it will be goes, how to write this step for that, how to design that one, how to follow that one, everything is possible by that. Okay, so whatever your programmers we have, those programmers can develop the program logic in easy way, and also they can develop the documentation for easy to complete the one program. Okay, so main advantage here what we have, programmers can develop, programmers developing, okay, programmers developing the program logic. Okay, here by the flowchart here programmers are developing the program logic in the easy way, and also they and also once they perform it that one, they are using the program logic to develop the or perform the documentation for one completing program. Okay, and next year it is used to analyze or define a process, whatever you are designing, so that is we can analyze that one. Yes, this is the step, yes, this is the reason, and we can analyze easily, and also we can define also why we are using these steps and what is the use for it. Everything is we can define by the flowchart diagrammatic. Okay, in the second step what we have, analyze is easy, and also we can define a process whatever it may be. Okay, whatever it may be, you can analyze that one and you can define that one is possible. Okay, and next here we have another step. It is used to explain in detail about the actions. Okay, so actions and decisions defined by the process means here whatever you are taking the communication, whatever you are taking the training, everything will be easy to display and perform. Okay, so any action can be done by the flowchart, any decision can be done by the flowchart. Okay, here actions and decisions, actions and decisions can be done in the easy way. Okay, and next here we have the who are the programmers, and whatever your programmers can be done here, means here while they are searching potential program anything, so that is pointing where they require the process, that is only it is showing. Okay, means here it is searching potential problem points to a process. Okay, whatever your programmer need, that is only here it is processing. Okay, searching potential problem, searching potential problem, whatever your programmer required, that is only it is searching the our process for flowchart. Okay, and next here we have the, it is very useful to the programmers, means here it is flowchart is helping to the our programmers when means you're examining the performance of a process. Okay, so when they are seeing or when they are examining the our flowchart diagrammatic representation, in that time it is very helping to the programmers to understand the process. Okay, examining the performance of a process. Okay, for what year it is helping to the who are thinking or who are watching, who are seeing the flowchart description, flowchart diagrammatic, so it is more effective and more help to the programmers performance in process. Okay, so these are the advantages of the our flowchart. Here these are the our advantages of the flowchart. And next here we have the another topic is like limitations of flowchart. Okay, next we have the limitations of flowchart. Next we have the limitations of the flowchart. Okay, so here we have the three limitations of the flowchart. Let's see what we have. First one, complex logic. First one, complex logic. Okay, so in this complex logic, flowchart will become complex and clumsy in case of complex program logic. Means you waste the time and money to correct the flowchart. Okay, see here, what we have here limitations for this. it is very complex logic. Why? Because here flowchart will become complex and clumsy in the case of when you are preparing the complex programs. Logic means your this wastes the time. Your sometimes your flowchart will be wasting the time. Why? Because you are by creating the symbols, right? Always we cannot create the symbols if sometimes your symbols may be in the wrong situation, wrong diagrammatic. Okay, so that is more wasting of time and money also to correct the flowchart. Okay, so sometimes you are using the terminal instead of rectangle, so it may be some correction for that, so it is very difficult, right? So that's what your very complex logic. And next here we have the second one, reproduction. Second one we have reproduction. So here what is reproduction means here, if you are performing the flow chart here, that is having the one major problem phase. What we have the major problem means here, symbols cannot be typed. Okay, so in the programmatic in the software designs or in the software, you are writing the programmatic code only. In the algorithms also you can write the programmatic code only, but when you're writing in the book, when you're writing in the exams only, you're designing the flow charts. In the all cases we cannot write. When you're writing the programs or anything into the system, we cannot write the our symbols in easy way. So this is a reproduction. Okay, means your symbols cannot be typed. We cannot type the symbols, right? So we have the alphabets, numbers, everything, but we don't have the symbols, right? And next here we have the third one, alterations and modifications. Third one, alterations and modifications. Okay, so in this, any modification to the flowcharts needs redrawing. Okay, and the flowchart. Okay, so if you done any mistake on the flowchart, okay, again you have to be redraw that flowchart. So means your modification will be done in the several times sometimes. Okay, so this is simple flowchart means you no problem, but here when you are doing the large flowchart here, in that situations you cannot modify easily. Why? Because here you have to be start again from the starting. Okay, so that is very problem. Okay, so this is your limitations of flowchart. We have the complex logic and reproduction and alterations in the modifications, right? Just see the one simple flowchart for representing the sum of two numbers. Okay, here I'm taking the one example. For that example, here I'm designing the flow chart. See what here I'm taking the example, the flow chart. Okay, the flow chart to find whether the okay whether the sum of two numbers is odd or even. Okay, here I'm giving the one example. Okay, example will be like this, the flow chart to find whether the sum of two numbers. Okay, you can take any two numbers, you can sum that one. So if that one is the odd or else it may be even, so that is you have to be create in the flow chart manner. Okay, so first you have to be take the one terminal symbol that is like a vowel. Okay, so by that here you have to be start, right? Here I took the terminal symbol. Okay, by that here I am starting the our process. Here I am starting the our process. Okay, let's see. Once you done the starting, so then you have to be represent the one arrow to process that. Okay, so here I need to be give these some two numbers. Okay, so before going to give the two numbers, you have to be initialize the initialize the two variables. So here I am giving the variables is like x and y. Here I am giving the variables is like x and y, whatever it may be you can take. So we have the A to Z alphabets, not only X, Y. Okay, you can take A, B, or else ZA. So everything, that's your choice only. You can choose from A to Z, that's your choice, no problem. Okay, so here I am choosing the X and Y. Okay, so here I am giving the parallelogram symbol. Okay, here I am giving the parallelogram symbol. Why we are using this parallelogram symbol? So to process the input and output, right? So here I am giving the input. That's what here I used the parallelogram symbol. Okay, so here read X comma Y. Here I given two variables to this. What we have the variables X comma Y. So here I'm telling to that flow chart. Here you have to be read the X comma Y. So why it is reading what in the X which value we have, in the Y which value we have. So that's you have to be read that one. Okay, suppose you given the X value is like uh, X is equals to 6, y is equals to 7. Okay, suppose you given x is equals to 6, y is equal to 7, you have to be read the x value and y value. Okay, and next here, once here it is done the reading, it is going to the next connection. Okay, so it is taking the one rectangle symbol. Okay, so this rectangle symbol is performing the process. Okay, what it is performing? Here we need the sum. First of all, we need the sum of two numbers, right? Here it is doing the sum. After the reading, it is doing the sum. Sum is equals to x plus y. Here what we have the x value and what we have the y value. So it is taking the 6 plus 7. So it will be 13. It is taking like 13. 6 plus 7 equals to 13, right? Okay. Once it is performing the sum of two numbers, it is going to decision making symbol. Okay, then it is moving to the decision making symbol. What we have the decision making symbol here? We have the diamond symbol. Okay, then draw the diamond symbol for this. Okay, once you completed the design for the diamond symbol, you have to be writing some logic in that. Okay, so here I am writing logic is some percentile to equal to 0 or not. Okay, so what you took the value. Okay, so here you took the value sum. What you got here? 13. 13 percentile to 2. So if that one is equal to 0, okay, so equal to 0 means here that is even. If that one is not equal to 0 means here you can make that one is the odd. Okay, right. So here means here decision is taking the, okay, one flow line. Okay, here our decision is taking the only one. See here we have our decision is taking the one incoming flow line, but it is giving the two or more outgoing line flow lines, right? So here I am taking the two, left and right. Okay, if it is true, if it is true, okay, if it is false, if it is true or if it is false. Okay, see, if it is true, it is printing the our output with the parallelogram print even. Okay, if it is false, it is printing the our parallelogram output is like a print odd. Okay, so these two are coming to here. So at last here it is stopping the our process with the vowel symbol. See here. Here we have the 6 plus 7 equals to 13. 6 plus 7 equals to 13. So here 6 plus 7 equals to 13 means here you just take 13 percentile to equal to 0. Okay, see. So normally how we will find this one? 13, 2. Okay, 2 6 12. You will get the 1 right here. You have the remainder is like 1. Okay, so here 1 means here it is not equal to 0. Means here it is not equal to 0 means here you can print the odd. It is displaying the whatever you took the values. It is printing the odd. It is printing the odd. Okay, so here we took the x comma y values is 6 and 7. Suppose you took the y value is also 6, it will get the 12. 12 means here you will get the 0. So means here in that time it is printing the even. Okay, in that time it is printing the even. So same like this, here you have to be represent another flow charts. Okay, so this is your flow chart for the sum of two numbers is even or odd finding. Okay, so in the next class we will discuss the another topic for our class. Thank you.